Hey guys, it's good to be back. Welcome to our eighth webinar. I hope you're enjoying them. This live interactive session that has certainly been fun for me. So today we are going to discuss some inference questions of critical reasoning. I have some really interesting questions lined up, so I'm excited to get started. But before we do, first of all, a quick discussion on what inference questions are. So inference or conclusion, they're the same thing as far as GMAT is concerned. What we're going to do is we're going to look for that option which must be true, assuming that the everything in the argument is given, whatever is given to us, that is true. Yeah. So normally we'll have quite a few premises in the argument. We have to assume that they are true, and based on that, which option must be true. Now, this is true most of the times. There are very, very, few cases when we might have that word support where we might need to take a call depending on what the other four options are. But in any case, we'll discuss about this word support when we come to a question. So first of all, you may wonder whether it is an inference question. Well, it is an inference except question types. For want of a better word, I'll call it an inference except question. What that means is that I can infer that four of the things over here are not possible. When I'm saying that it is possible, that means it may or may not happen. Right? So, but then when we talk about an inference question, we usually say that we're looking for something that must be true. So what we are doing over here is we are looking for four options that must be false, four things that are not possible, because it asks us if the statements above are true, then it is also possible that in Patton city. So basically, we are eliminating four options that are not possible, that we know based on the data that we get from the argument that these four are not possible based on the data from the argument. And then one of them is possible. Okay, it's an interesting question for sure. In Patton City, days are categorized as having heavy rainfall more than 2 inches. So let's just quickly write down. I say H is more than 2 inches, moderate rainfall more than 1, but no more than 2 inches. So M lies between 1 and 2, no more than 2. So it could be equal to 2 also. And light rainfall, at least a trace, but no more than 1. So L is your less than equal to 1. Right? Or no rainfall. So then the fourth type of the day is no rainfall. Okay. In 1990, so basically we are talking about 1990 and we're comparing it to 1910. There were fewer days with light rainfall than in 1910. So then the L days over here, there were fewer as compared to the L days over here, and fewer with moderate rainfall. So the number of M days, whatever, let's say 10 or 20 or whatever, that is also less than the number of M days over here. Now, yet total rainfall for the year, so total rainfall over here, we're talking about 1990, was 20% higher in 1990 than in 1910. So the total rainfall over here was higher. They had fewer L days, they had fewer M days, and still total amount of rainfall in 1990 was higher. Now, is it a surprise? Is it something unexpected? Think about that. Look, so what if there were fewer days with light rainfall and fewer days with medium rainfall? Is it still possible that the rainfall over the light days was more than the rainfall over these light days? Think about it. Let's say here there were 10 of these days and here there were only 8. But what if on these 10 days, the amount of rainfall was, let's say, 0.01 inch, and here the amount of rainfall was 1 inch? Then the overall rainfall over here would be much higher than rainfall over here. So basically, your amount of rainfall received depends on two things, not just one. Not only on the number of days on which you got that particular rainfall, but how much rainfall did you get on that particular day? Since light and heavy and medium, they're all ranges, right? So then only the number of days cannot define whether you got more rainfall on that day or less rainfall on that day. Yeah. Okay. So now let's look at each option. Just there is a quick. We'll just take a look at it once in case. All right. Okay. Okay. A. The average amount of rainfall per month, you're going to be surprised, Himanshu. The average amount of rainfall per month was lower in 1990 than in 1910. Now, is it possible that the average rainfall per month was lower in 1990? I know that the total rainfall in 1990 was more than that in 1910, right? And how do I get the average? I just divide the total number of rainfall by the number of months, because I'm asked about the average amount of rainfall per month. And of course, both the years had 12 months in it, right? So here, the total I will divide by 12. Here also, the total I'll divide by 12 to get the average. If this total is higher, then this average has to be higher. So this is not possible. Based on the data given to me, this is not possible, right? I can conclude that this is not possible. Yeah. B, the number of days with some rainfall, but no more than 2 inches. Some rainfall, but no more than 2 inches. We are talking about the L and the M days, right? Was the same in 1990 as in 1910. This is not correct. We know that L in 1990 was less and M was also less. So L plus M in 1990 was less than L plus M in 1910, right? As per the data given to us. So this is not possible. Was the same? It is not possible. It was less. So this is incorrect. I know that this is not possible. Let's look at C. The number of days with some rainfall, but no more than 2 inches. Again, I'm talking about the L plus M days, right? Was higher in 1990 than in 1910. Is that possible? Again, no. We said that L plus M for 1990 is actually lower than L plus M for 1910. We are given here, right? L is also less for 1990 and M is also less for 1990. So then L plus M for 1990 has to be lower, not higher. This was higher. This is not possible. So I know that this is also not possible based on the data I have available in the argument. Okay, D. The total number of inches of rainfall that fell on days with moderate rainfall in 1990 was more than twice what it had been in 1910. Okay, now this may seem a little confusing, but then think about it. I'm talking about the total number of inches of rain, right? I know that on the M days were fewer in 1990, but of course, I also know that M covers a range. It is from 1 to 2. Now, is it possible that the total amount of rain, because number of inches means the total amount of rain, in 1990 was more than twice of what it had been in 1910? Let's assume that you have 10 days of M in 1910 and you have 8 days of M in 1990, because I know that this M is less than this M. So I'm assuming numbers accordingly, 8 and 10, right? Now, if on every day over here, the rainfall was 2 inches, the maximum possible, it will still be 16. And here, if it is the minimum possible, then it will still be like slightly more than 10, because M is a little more than 1, right? So then it will be slightly more than 10 inches in this case, and it will be 16 inches, the maximum possible in this case. Can this be more than twice of this ever? No, it can't be, right? Even if the number of days are exactly the same in both the years, still it will not be twice, because here 1 is not included in the range, right? The rainfall will be M only if it is, let's say, 1.01, whatever. So even if there were 10 days of M rainfall in both the years, here I will still have 10.1 inches and here I'll still have 20 inches, right? So it'll more than twice is anyway not possible. Even twice is not possible. So this again is NP. So then this is also not our answer. So then the possibility must be just this by elimination. Let's see if it is possible. Mind you, we are not looking for what must be true. We are looking for what is possible. Then it is also possible, right? The number of days with heavy rainfall was lower in 1990 than in 1910. Is it possible? Is it possible that H is also less over here? H days, this is also less. As we said, it is certainly possible because H covers an entire range. All we need is the total rainfall over here is 20% more. What if, let's say, there were only 5 days of H in 1990, but on each of those 5 days, we actually got 100 inches of rainfall. Whereas here we had more days, let's say, we had 20 days, but on each day we got only 3 inches of rainfall. right? So then only number of days, it doesn't matter, right? We said that the total rainfall depends not only on the total number of days, but also the amount of rainfall received on each one of those days. So it is certainly possible that the number of L, M, and H all are lower in 1990s. Still possible. Again, it's not necessary, right? It is possible that they are lower, but the total rainfall of 1990 is higher. So then this certainly is possible, and this is our answer.